Hey, Sean, I want to show you guys, this snow has been falling for about maybe an hour and a half. This is Wake Forest Road here behind me. Look at it. It's covered. You can see how much is snowing just from this. I've been standing out here for a few minutes. But what's more surprising is not the snow that's all over the road, but these drivers. People are still out driving. In the last few minutes, I've seen people struggling on these roads. Earlier today, we got a chance to talk to some people who were smart enough to get their errands done before it started to snow. At the Kroger on Six Forks in Raleigh, shoppers filed in to get last-minute groceries.
Of course, we get the essentials, the milk, the eggs, the breakfast food, just in case we can't go to work in the morning.
Kristen Obie and her daughter, Lauren, stocked up on supplies for the rest of their family, hours before the possible winter weather storm. Obie says the grocery options at the store were hit or miss.
Cheese was kind of wiped out as far as what I was looking for. Milk was good. Eggs were a little depleted.
If she had her choice, Obie tells me she would not mind seeing some snow this week.
Do you like snow, Mama?
Not everyone is excited as Obie for the forecast.
Everybody's panic buying because of the potential 1 or 2 inches we're getting.
Andy Beal sat in line 2 cars deep, waiting for gas at the Costco. Behind him, dozens of other cars waited.
This is not normal for this time of day.
Many drivers raced home to try and beat the weather. Some businesses even closed early. However, other businesses were prepping specifically to drive in the winter weather.
You can get upwards of Super Bowl sales, which is up to 4 or 5 times what you would have expected from that day.
It's cold outside, but inside Papa John's, pizza is hot. And General Manager Sarah Smith says she knows a lot of people aren't planning on cooking. That's why they've upped the staff with more drivers Wednesday. She says while delivery drivers are prepared to deal with some winter weather conditions, if it gets too dangerous, they won't be on the roads.
We want people to be fed and happy. We want our customers to be happy, but we want everyone to be safe.
Now, there is a winter weather advisory here in Wake County until at least 7 o'clock tomorrow. And if you're anything like me, you have the CBS News app and you got push alerts all day about people like that just spinning out behind me. Anyway, you got push alerts all day about school closures. So really, you have no reason to be out if you don't have to be. So if you can, make sure to stay off these roads because they're not safe. Reporting live here in Raleigh, I'm AJ Janavel for CBS North Carolina. Now, any possible storms here in Fayetteville are more than 12 hours away. And right now, there's still plenty of groceries that are available. But shoppers know the minute that first snowflake hits, these shelves will look much different.
That last one. There's gonna be no cereal, no bread, no milk, no water, no nothing. Everything's gonna be gone. Shelves are gonna be empty.
Tanisha Jackson and her daughter Jasmine wanted to get an early start on groceries before any winter weather hit Fayetteville. Jackson made sure she had everything she needed in case the storm hits and she can't get back out of her house.
I have 5 kids all together.
Yeah,
Everyone is at home.
You gotta stock up a little bit more then. Pushing her cart from aisle to aisle, Jackson had her choice of groceries. Altogether, not many shoppers were out late into the evening, but Jackson says with the possibility of snow, she'd much rather be safe than sorry.
A lot of people don't believe it's coming, but when Matthew came, everybody didn't believe Matthew was coming. And, you know, we had to catch boats out the neighborhood.
Employees at the grocery store tell me Tuesday is just the calm before the storm.
Once it starts snowing, it usually get crazy in here.
Jesse Johnson is the manager at Carly C's IGA grocery store.
To the checkout we go.
He says around 6 they were a little busier with shoppers like Jackson, stocking up on essentials before the storm, which he says is smart because come Wednesday, these aisles will look much different if the storm hits.
Get here as early as you can, and once we run out of something.
Now the Carly C's here in Fayetteville will get one more shipment of groceries Wednesday morning before the storm, but that's it until Friday. Reporting here in Fayetteville, I'm AJ Janavel for CBS North Carolina. Hey Justin, you'll remember last week when it was just cold temperatures that delayed schools in our area. Right here in Wake County, 81 buses had trouble starting. So today, Wake County school officials started each one of their 750 bus fleet engines. You can see some of those buses here behind me to try to prevent any issues from happening again. Uh-oh, that's not a good sign. Bus engines not starting.
The buses are not designed for weather that's this cold, no.
But that's exactly why Wake school officials worked in 20-degree temperatures Sunday. Crews did everything to get these engines running. Sprayed starter fluid, a few tune-ups on the engines, and even, just like us with car troubles, busted out the jumper cables. Wake School spokesperson Lisa Luton says even if these engines don't start, there are still options.
If we can't repair a bus, we have extra buses in our fleet, so we'll swap the buses out.
Crews were able to start all 100 of these buses, but school officials did more than just work on engines. Crews laid salt around the parking lot in icy areas, and Luton says HVACs were a focus. Heating systems ran in schools despite 4 days in a row of students away from class. So, when they do return, they're nice and warm.
You don't realize what goes on behind the scenes.
Beverly Cormier has 3 students in Wake County schools. She tells me after delays and days off last week, she's happy to hear Wake officials are working so hard to get her kids back in school.
Yes, I love having you around, sweetheart. But I think we need to get back on schedule, right? Yes.
It was just orange going up a good 20 feet.
Flames reaching up to the tops of the trees around the single-family home in the Pope's Crossing neighborhood. Neighbors caught video of the flames before fire officials were able to get the fire under control.
The whole house had some flames over it.
James Wheeler tells me he and his neighbors weren't sure at first if other homes were in danger. He says firefighters were able to act fast. 4 different departments responded. Our cameras catching firefighters putting out the last of the flames.
So now we're just chasing the hot spots and making sure we don't leave anything.
Battalion Chief Dawn White tells me first responders contained the fire in about 15 minutes, but the flames still were able to destroy most of the house. The homeowner arriving to the scene just as firefighters put out the last of the flames.
He's upset, obviously. He went to dinner. He received a phone call to tell him his house was on fire.
Right.
So he's trying to grasp that right now.
The homeowner told me off camera he's relieved it's only material things damaged and that he was not hurt.
We'll continue helping him find a place and see if he can get back in his house and get some belongings.
And the owner of this home is not able to return tonight, but the Red Cross is assisting. Fire officials say they have not determined what caused this fire, but they will work through the night to try and figure that out. Reporting here in Durham, I'm AJ Janavel for CBS North Carolina.